Question of the day: what do you get when you combine Frozen cards and THG's very own Elsa? Well, you get first place at our IP franchise event. That's right, none other than Doogly the Duke, our very own THG member, took first place and is here to talk about his Elsa Anna Power Hour. It was more like Power 4 hours for our event, but you took first place. For duly welcome, welcome. On our first ever Casual Connor Player Spotlight. Welcome.
Thank you. It's honestly a pleasure to be here, and just, I always, grew up playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff and watching people do this type of thing, interview teammates and stuff like that, so thank you.
Before we jump into this interview, I just want to take a step back and explain exactly what we did on Saturday. So, our second Casual Kana event was a IP challenge. You pick one IP or one franchise that you love, and any card from any set in any color is available for you to use to build the franchise deck of your dreams. And you can use up to 15 different Lorcana specific cards, meaning Sail the Azurite Sea or any one of the wonderful coils or chromacons in the color of your choice. Heck, you can use them all. So with that said, let's take a look at Doogly's deck. Or this was our second event. And this is actually your second win once again with Blurple, which seems to be super dominant in the current meta, and you're bringing it over into the casual meta. Why Blurple?
Wasn't intentional. If Frozen was in other colors, I absolutely would have still played it. It just so happened that the deck I've been playing since set 6, more so to set 7, since then. It just so happened to be that way. But I brought it because, Frozen's a pretty great franchise, and actually I haven't really been that into Disney things ever. Not even as a kid, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed Pixar stuff coming soon. But this was more of my first reintroduction into Disney as an adult, and I just really like the franchise. So much so that I end up dressing up as it every now and again, especially in our TikTok, which you should totally check out. Tragic Hero Gaming.
I mean, you're killing it on multiple fronts. The dressing up as Elsa it always makes us laugh. It's always just puts a smile on everybody's face. So thank you for that. And you've been playing Blurple, like you said, for a while now. Now it's time to shine. But you're playing it at our Casual Kana event. What changes did you have to make to get this Blurple deck to fit just a Frozen IP?
So, I would I'm staring at my deck list right now. No Tipo is a pretty big noticeable thing for Blurple. Blurple always wants to be able to ramp on turn 2. With either Sail or Tipo. So lacking Tipo kind of hurt that in a way, and I had to shift the way that I have to ramp in the deck. So instead of having Tipo, the archetype has a built-in turn 2 into turn 3 ramp with, 2-drop Elsa into the 3-drop Anna that is like Detective Mickey, right? Ramps off the top of your deck at cost 3, but she is a flat 2 strength, 2 willpower, quest 2, so it is also a powerful questing option as well. So it trades the consistency for the power. I would have to be just straight up card advantage of being able.
Gotcha. Now I'm looking at the deck now. That big Elsa seems to be like a killer when it comes out. And you can shift from 5. How did that play into your game plan, and how did that work for you in our event?
So, and that's actually once again, just like a different added strength to the 2-drop Elsa, 3-drop Anna line, where, you know, you'll have this Elsa out, and you'll have the big Elsa in hand. So if you draw that into the off of the mulligan, or off of, you know, turns 1, 2, 3, whatever, it allows you to shift that one turn away after the Anna ramp. So that came down a bunch, and actually ended up being the Baby Elsa ended up being really applicable in that sense. So she was always a killer that came down, and then of course you had the other targets like the other 4-cost Elsa. That's just challenge 6. Challenge 3 hits for 6.
Mm-hmm.
But I never really shifted her onto that. It was always the Baby Elsa at the end of the day. Like, that was a big power play, especially that into the 4-drop Anna that freezes a character if they're exerted already. So, you know, drop that down, let them stay exerted for a turn, and then next turn drop the Anna and maybe another 4-drop, or, you know, something else.
So going into an event like this, you don't really know what you're going to come up against. What was one card that you felt truly was like the standout that you didn't think was going to be good, or you just kind of had in your deck? Was there one card that you were like, oh my god, I can't believe this was the card that worked the best?
Looking at my list and remembering how my matches went, I really want to say it was Hans, actually. For the viewers out there who might not be reading, or, you know, know what the card does offhand, it's a 3-cost inkable 3/2 that quests for 2 that reads: when you play this character, if a princess or a character is in play, gain 1 lore. So the whole deck is majority princess or queen characters. So, I mean, Anna and Elsa both fit that role. So you're going to be able to constantly, at some point, trigger that and gain the extra lore. And that won me a game. My last game, actually, the night. I was at like 19, and I drew into the Hans. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, man. Hans, go game. But I never really saw it that much. And that was just like, I would probably bump that up. But actually, the best card, the 6-drop Anna. Like, easily. That card, for the other viewers, you know, everybody else, it's a shift 4, supports the 3/6, 6-cost inkable, and reads: when this character quests, if you have a character named Elsa in play, you may draw a card. I drew so much off of that. I gained so much card advantage off of that. Like, it just outright won me games. It was crazy. So,
I mean, it seems super effective when you
Anna.
have all of those Elsas out there on the board to just consistently be able to. It's like you can get rid of one, but if there's another one on there, it's like, what are you going to do to pick your poison? What's more important? Is it the card draw, or is it the lore? Because do you go after Anna, or do you go after Elsa? What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm. And I think people, when they enter this type of format as well, they might undervalue the power of an evasive character. I mean, evasives in the current meta are incredibly strong, and the whole game's played up in the air for the most part. And translating that into a casual kind of sort of sense is overpowered. Not overpowered, but it's very strong. So that Elsa, the 5-cost Elsa, you know, the 5th spirit, would just stay there and just keep doing its thing, and it would just constantly be able to trigger the Anna. So that was a very strong interaction as well. And you're playing 7, 11, 15. Like, you're playing 15 Elsas in the deck.
Well, that's almost 1/3 of your deck of just Elsa.
Yeah. So, definitely power play card. Oh my god.
Okay, so you got to go the other end of the spectrum, right? You played 3 games with this one card that you're taking out and you're replacing. You don't got to tell me what you're replacing it with, because I don't want to put you on the spot. But I want to know one card that you're like, I'm done. This one just either just always went into ink or just was in my hand at the wrong time.
That's a tough one. I think every card in my deck does play a role, but if there's one card that I just outright am not playing probably anymore that has to go, it's probably Sven, the 5-cost inkable. 2/6 got rush, And when you play this character, chosen character gets -3 this turn. The utility on it is strong and being able to -3, but it never really needed to come up. So probably Sven. It's a good card. I just don't think it really did much of anything.
So we played 3 rounds that night. What were the 3 IPs that you went up against?
So pretty much my whole match history ended up looking like round 1 was a Sleeping Beauty deck, and I went 2-0 on that. Round 2 was actually against our teammate CJ, and he was playing a Lion King deck. Very cool. Actually, game 2, he went like turn 2. He played like turn 1 Simba, turn 2 Nala, turn 3 Shift Simba, quested for like 6 or something like that, or 5, and then re-ready the Nala and the Simba itself. So I'm like, well, game 3. But I ended up, that was a 2-1 at the end of that. And then round 3 was a local friend of mine, Joe. He was playing Robin Hood. I ended up 2-0ing him on that, when normally he ends up 2-0ing me at locals. So, very nice to see.
You got a little bit of revenge.
Great matches.
A little bit of revenge there. But what, anything in the Robin Hood deck that stood out?
Actually, like, I'm sure every single Lorcana, like maybe more so competitive Lorcana player, will say, I've never seen half these cards in my life. I don't know what they read. And I had a classic case of that where he played the Sherwood Forest. It's a location in Robin Hood, and it gives all of your characters a ward. And so all Robin Hood characters can move there for free. And then all your characters gain like ward and exert 2 and pay 2 ink to like ping a character for like 1 or 2 or something like that. But it was just like mines plus ward, and I'm like, without the lore gain, I'm like, this card's cracked. So I couldn't touch any of this stuff, because I'm not playing Hades in this form of Whirlpool. So because you can't. So yeah, that definitely took me by surprise.
I mean, that's kind of like the beauty of what I like about starting to do these casual Kana challenges, is breaking away from the meta and opening your eyes up to some new cards that you don't normally see. You know, Sherwood Forest, I believe, very quickly in the casual scenes, or a little bit of play back in the day. And then when there was only really one good Robin Hood card, you're kind of just like, oh, well, what's this going to do for me at this point? You know?
Yep. And, you know, hopefully the game ends up moving in a way that we can actually start getting more, like, successful tribal, like, support, and maybe they'll even, like, backdate some of that tribal support in a way, like, to keep, you know, like, the Robin Hoods, like, the Pete thing, you know, where that you could play, like, free Pete and stuff like that, like, but I hope that Ravensburger also respects that, you know, this can also be a casual game at the same time, and not be afraid to print cards that would be fun in a casual sense. That obviously could very well be strong in the meta and stuff like that, but, you know, I also hope give the casual some love.
All right, dude, so we're going to wrap it up just because we've been going for a little bit, and it's already late on our end. But thank you so much for hopping on and testing us out on this first ever episode. This is great. You know, anything you're looking forward to in the future of Lorcana before we sign off?
Actually, you know, I was just talking about it with some members of the team the other day. We have me, and a couple of the other teammates have DLC Milwaukee coming up on the horizon next month. Officially under a month away. So we've all kind of been training and testing in our own ways, trying to see what we want to play, what we don't want to play, who wants to bring Dumbos, who doesn't, at the end of the day. I think we're all going to end up playing the Dumbo deck in some way, shape, or form. But DLC Milwaukee is going to be a lot of fun. Going to be fun to do a lot of the side events. Hopefully meet some content creators and stuff like that, and maybe even get our own name out. Who knows? And PAX Unplugged at the end of November. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. Going to Philly. Short hour hike away, so excited to play some Lorcana, meet some people, you know, chit chat, and have fun.
Hey, well, I'm proud of all you guys going out to Milwaukee. I'm sure you're going to do great and make us all proud. And everybody's been working really hard. And hey, listen, sometimes these casual breaks, it's a good palate cleanser. So now you're going to hit the grind and get
So
right
needed.
back to it.
I think, and you know, that's before my last little speech before I go. I think these events are so incredibly needed in the community. Obviously in any card game, but I think in Lorcana the most. I feel like sometimes there's a lot of emphasis on the competitive end, which is absolutely appropriate. And you know, because competitiveness is how games thrive typically, right? And I'm just very glad to have this sort of space of us being able to engage in, you know, our local scene, even and maybe eventually, you know, in a broader sense. With like casual kana, I think it brings more people together. It makes for a more relaxed, chill environment where, you know, I can just sit down, shake my opponent's hand, greet him, whatever, and like chit chat while I'm playing my, you know, silly little Frozen deck or whatever. So I think it gives a much needed break to an otherwise competitive scene, and I'm just glad that we're able to foster that sort of community locally. So, and I hope we can maybe eventually broaden our horizons. You know, so thank you for having me, Ruben. I really appreciate it.
I mean, look, it's great. I think this casual kana in the event series is going to go on for a while longer, and we'll see where we can grow it, and we'll continue to do things like this and bring people on to talk about their casual decks and the fun that they're having and new ways to look at Lorcana. Because yes, sometimes you hit a stale meta like this, and you need to step away. So we're going to be here once a month with casual kana event series. And to everybody else out there, we hope that you like this, and we will definitely bring you more casual kana player spotlights, just so hopefully we can inspire you to come out to one of our events and make up some kind of crazy deck that fits some of our weird rules, meet some fun people, and then go get donuts afterwards, because one spitting is right around the corner.
Yeah.
So let's go do that.
A total chain reaction that Saturday. Everybody, one person got donuts into another, until next thing you know, every single table has at least one box of donuts on it. But come on out, everybody. It's a great time. Hopefully we can see it at our next event, Heroes vs. Villains, and maybe play against me and beat me, so I finally can let somebody else win. Not to sound conceited, please. No,
wait, you are
I don't
undefeated,
win,
though. It's
I never
okay.
win.
You're undefeated. It's okay.
I'm just okay at the main game. I just so happen to be undefeated in this series. So, but I'll be here waiting, everybody. So.
All right. Well, you heard it. Doogly's waiting for you to come down and take his winless streak away. So
Yes.
to all our tragic heroes out there, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Reckless Ruby, joined by Doogly. We'll see you next time for some more casual kana and some player spotlights. And as always, do that whole thing. I think you like it, you subscribe, and you turn on those notifications. So don't forget to do that. And we'll bring you more casual kana and other tragic hero goodness in the future. Later.
Take care, everybody.